Octie in the Land of Fun was a side-scrolling platformer created for the Sega Genesis in 1993. It was made by Circumference Studios and was the only game they ever made. Only 2,000 copies were sold before the game was banned for reasons which I will explain in this article. When the game booted up, the title screen would appear. In the background is a jungle. If you wait for 5 seconds, Octie would jump into view, wave at the player, then jump off screen again. There would be no music at this point, only the sound of Octie's jump, which would sound a small beep. Once the player presses A, as instructed on the screen, there would be a loud static noise, and the screen would fade to black. The game would then start. Octie would jump into view, and the HUD would appear. The HUD would consist of 3 hearts, representing Octie's lives, and the amount of points. Using the left and right arrows on the D-pad would move Octie left and right. Pressing up arrow on the D-pad would make Octie jump. The first level would be a prehistoric level. The music would be a happy-go-lucky 8-bit tune, which was strange, considering the Genesis was a 16-bit console. Jumping on enemies, raptors, pterodactyls, and cavemen would make them fall to the floor and temporarily stun them. This would give the player 100 points. If the player touched the enemies without jumping, Octie would fall to the floor, the screen would fade to black and go back to the start of the level, with 1 less heart than before. The next level was a space level. The music would be a chromatic scale going up and down on a continuous loop. The height of Octie's jump would be slightly increased, and the enemies would change models: astronauts, aliens, and small spaceships. But before approaching the exit of the level, a massive amount of enemies would appear, effectively making it impossible to advance to the next level. Once the player lost all their lives, they would appear in another level. Only this level would have no background, only a massive black mesh covering the once colorful world. There would be no sound upon spawning, and the only direction the player could go was forward. As the player advanced through the seemingly endless corridor, a static noise would gradually increase in volume. Once the static noise reached its maximum volume, about 90 dB, a raptor would pounce on the player and start ripping Octie apart. A high-pitched scream would be heard, and the game would restart. However, out of the 2,000 copies sold, 12 special editions were among them, supposedly with an extra level. But according to the people who played it, something else would happen after the dismemberment scene. But all of them refused to talk about what they saw. One of the people that played it attempted to kill another person, another tried to hang herself, and 2 of them acquired trypophobia.